There are some lessons in life that arrive quietly, without noise, anger, or drama. They do not announce themselves or demand attention. Instead, they appear slowly, formed through years of experience, missed moments, and silent regrets that gather unnoticed over time. This is not a story about blame or conflict, and it is not meant to point fingers. It is a story about understanding, the kind that comes gently, often when life has already moved far ahead. It is the story of a man who lived a long life, worked hard, and genuinely believed he was doing everything right. Yet near the end of his journey, he realized something deeply important, something he wished he had understood much earlier. This is a life lesson he learned too late. From the outside, his life seemed complete and well-structured. He had a stable job for most of his adult years, provided consistently for his family, paid his bills on time, and earned respect within his community. People often described him as responsible and dependable, someone who always did what needed to be done. For a long time, he believed that this was enough. In his mind, success meant security, responsibility meant love, and providing meant caring. These beliefs were never challenged, so he never questioned them. Life continued to move forward steadily, with days turning into months, months into years, and years into decades. Without realizing it, he grew older while time quietly slipped past him. As the years passed, his life settled into a familiar routine. He woke up early each day, went to work, returned home tired, ate dinner, and went to sleep, repeating the same cycle again and again. Weekends passed quietly, conversations became shorter, and moments of togetherness became fewer. He was always busy, or at least he believed he was. Whenever someone asked how he was doing, his response was automatic. Busy, but fine. Over time, busy became his excuse, his shield, and the reason he postponed important moments. He assumed there would always be more time, not realizing how quickly time was being spent. What he didn't notice was how life around him was slowly changing. Small conversations stopped happening, shared laughter became rare, and silence gradually replaced connection. The people around him adapted quietly. They stopped asking, stopped expecting, not because they didn't care, but because they learned not to hope. He didn't see this as a problem because nothing seemed broken. Life appeared stable and functional on the surface. Yet some of the most important things in life don't break loudly. They fade quietly, often without warning. One day, he looked in the mirror and noticed something unfamiliar. Gray hair framed his face, lines marked his skin, and his eyes carried a tired look he didn't recognize. Time had moved forward without asking permission. He began to realize that many years had passed without him truly noticing them. Moments he once believed he would remember forever had quietly disappeared. He tried to recall the last meaningful conversation he had, the last time he truly listened, or the last time he paused and simply existed in the moment. The answers were unclear, and that uncertainty stayed with him. His change did not come from one dramatic moment. Instead, it came from a series of small realizations: a quiet house, long evenings, and too much time to think. Slowly, he began to understand something difficult. Life is not measured by how much you do, but by how present you are while doing it. He realized that being physically present is not the same as being emotionally present. This understanding stayed with him and began to reshape how he viewed his past. He started looking back on his life, not with anger or regret at first, but with curiosity. He remembered moments he rushed through, conversations he postponed, and feelings he ignored because they seemed inconvenient at the time. He had believed he was building a secure future, yet he hadn't realized what he was slowly giving up in the process: connection, understanding, and shared experiences. These are things that cannot be replaced later, no matter how much time or effort one has. Waiting had always felt harmless to him. "I'll do it later," he would say. "There's time," or "I'll focus on this," after things settle down. But life does not wait for perfect conditions. Later often never arrives. He understood this now, and that understanding carried a quiet sadness, not because he had failed, but because he had delayed what truly mattered. Suddenly, success looked different to him. It was no longer about achievements or responsibilities, but about moments, shared silence, simple conversations, and being present without distractions began to feel more valuable than anything he had worked for before. He realized that the most important things in life require attention, not effort. And attention is something you must choose every day. There was no anger in his realization, only acceptance. He could not change the past, but he could change how he understood it. He learned that mistakes are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes they are quiet habits repeated without question. And the lesson he learned was not about guilt. It was about awareness. This story is not unique. Many people live their lives believing they have time, believing that presence can wait, and believing that effort alone is enough. But life does not measure intention. It measures action. Being there matters. Listening matters. Pausing matters. If you are younger, remember this. Do not wait for the perfect moment to be present. Do not assume time will slow down, and do not postpone connection. Life is not a rehearsal. And if you are older, remember this. It is never too late to understand. Reflection still has value and awareness still matters. He learned his lesson late, but the lesson itself was timeless. That life is not built only through responsibility, but through presence. Not through plans, but through moments. And not through waiting, but through choosing now. This story reminds us of something simple yet powerful. Time moves quietly. Life teaches gently, and understanding often arrives without warning. The question is not whether we will learn, but when.